Welcome, welcome. Hello everyone. This is Mary Maxim, the final day. It is day 5. So day 5 of Mary Maxim week. And today we are showing the beautiful wrap, the summertime wrap. Although it could be a wintertime wrap as well, but like I'm thinking summertime wrap when we made this. This yarn is so beautiful, so soft, so luscious. This is just a long corner to corner rectangular wrap, and it is made with the Purely Soft by Mary Maxim. And I'm sorry I don't have full balls to show you of this. This is what we have left. I used 4 balls to make this wrap, and the wrap is, the tutorial is it's a shortened tutorial because I was running out of time and I didn't have everything finished, and just this whole week has been a lot. It's been a lot of work. So I made a very shortened version. I made a wrap that's about this big, so it don't fit nobody. But I wanted to show you how to make the corner to corner, and you can make the corner to corner as big as you want it. So to give you some details on the size of this wrap, it is 15 inches wide, so it's actually 15 squares across, because each one of my squares is exactly an inch. So it's 15 across, and it is over 6 feet long. And I know that because my wingspan is 5'9", and it is well past that. So it is definitely, it's probably about 6.5 feet long, and I used 4 balls to achieve this. Now, why do I need a warm wrap for the summertime? I know, it's a silly question. I know. Why did I make a heavy wrap for the wintertime or the summertime? Because in the summer, very often, this is how I dress. I either have a tank top on or I have a summer dress on. I live in a hot environment. It is hot and it's humid where I live. So because of that, this is how I dress during the day. But very often in the evenings, when it's starting to calm down in the house a little bit, everyone has eaten dinner and they kind of have gone off and done their own thing. I will very often sit on the porch, either in the front yard or the backyard, and just enjoy the cooler weather, the sun setting. And sometimes the weather starts to get a little bit cooler in the evenings, especially in the spring and the fall time, and occasionally in the summer. And I just want something on just my shoulders. And yeah, I could go grab a hoodie. I could, but like I look cute, so I want like a wrap to keep my shoulders warm, right? So that was the whole idea behind this. Or you're sitting campfire side, like you either went camping and it's chilly in the evening and like the fire's keeping your feet warm, or like, you know, whatever, but your shoulders got a little chill. That was the idea behind this, is to sit next to the campfire or on the porch in the evenings. So I guess this is either a summer wrap, or we could call it a campfire wrap, or we could call it the porch wrap. I don't know what we're calling it. I haven't named any of these projects yet, and it's Friday. So the idea is just to keep your shoulders warm on those cool summer nights, the cool spring nights when you're sitting on the porch, when you're sitting by the fire in the backyard, or when you're camping or whatever, like just to give you a little warmth around your shoulders. And this yarn is so luscious, and I've never worked with yarn like this before. I've had yarn like this before, and I've had this yarn for a while because Mary Maxim sent this to me, and I was like, okay, well, I don't know what to make with it. I didn't know what to make with it. So when I came up with the idea for this wrap, I was like, this yarn is perfect for this. So we're using the Mary Maxim Purely Soft, and like I said, I used all 4 of the balls that I had, and I used 4 different colors. So I can just show you on the blanket. Oh, it's not a blanket, it's a wrap. This is the color Silver, Ocean, Creamy, and this dark gray back there is called Sable. Absolutely beautiful. So I created the corner to corner, and we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so it's not quite 15 rows across. I did 12 rows before I started to do when I stopped increasing on that side. Because the way you build corner to corner is you start in the corner and you build a triangle and you increase on both sides, which creates the triangle. And then when you want it to go up like a rectangle, you stop increasing on one of the sides, which is what I did. So I got 12 rows before I stopped increasing, and you can make this as big or as little as you want it. You can make it wider, you can make it longer, you can make it shorter, you can make it narrower and make a scarf. You can make this into a blanket. just the idea behind the tutorial is really simple. I just show you how to do corner to corner, and I tell you how I created the design for this. I show you how to do the initial triangle of increases, and then I show you when you want to stop increasing, how to do that on this side, and then when it's long enough, you stop increasing on both sides, and it will create a corner that comes together. So, very easy. Once you get the hang of it, it's really easy. I like corner to corner because, especially with this type of yarn, because maybe if you have a hard time seeing the stitches, because the yarn is a little bit fuzzy, it's got that beautiful furness to it. It's easy to determine where you need to put your stitches. So you're not like looking for individual stitches, you're looking for spaces that you're crocheting into. So what I did was I did 12 rows before I stopped increasing. And then I did not really plan out the stripes. I just knew I wanted to do stripes. So I did like 3 rows of the blue, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of the white, 3 rows of the blue, and then I did the entire skein of the sable color, and then I tried to mimic what I did on this side, but I had a little bit more yarn left over. So then I just went 3 of the blue, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I got like 9 rows of the white. And I used up the rest of the blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of the blue. And then I finished it off with the light, the silvery color. So, if you want to replicate what I did here, just kind of like eyeball how many rows you needed for each color section, and you'll kind of get the same idea. So yeah, that's what we just did. I kind of like eyeballed the stripes because I didn't really plan it out, and then I liked the way this looked here, so I tried to replicate that again on the other side. And just play with your yarn. Just play with your yarn. Just create it however long you want it, however wide you want it. Make it your own. If you want to make it all in one color, you can do that. You can make it in just 2 different colors and just use up one ball and then add in the second color. Well, 2 balls and 2 balls. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can do it however you want. You can make the striping your own, whatever colors you want. This yarn comes in 6 different colors, so I have 4 of the 6. It also comes in a pink, and I don't remember what the other color is. It comes in a pink, but it's $6.99 a ball. It's really soft. It would make a beautiful blanket or a sweater. What is the 6th color? A honey color. So those are the 6 colors it comes in. I have 4 of the 6. So it comes in thistle and honey are the 2 colors I don't have. But isn't this beautiful? Now I'm going to be real honest. If I were to pick these colors out myself, I would just do the whole thing in the blue and the white. The creamy and the... What did I say this was? Ocean. The ocean and the creamy. And I would just do stripes randomly across if I were to pick out the colors myself. But like, I like the gray as well. And like I said, you can make this any size. You can make a baby blanket. You can make yourself a sweater if you want it. But it's really soft yarn. What is the machine? Now each ball is 70% premium acrylic, because I didn't tell you that. It's only 147 yards, but 4 balls made a wrap that is more than big enough for my body. 70% premium acrylic, 30% polyamide, made in Turkey, and all the best yarns are made in Turkey. I'm going to tell you that right now. This is a bulky number 5. It says machine wash in cold water, lay flat to dry. And I think because they just don't want you to cook the feathers on there. Just don't cook it, okay? It is a beautiful, soft, luscious yarn. I would absolutely buy this again, probably in these 2 colors, and work with it again. I would love to have a blanket out of these 2 colors. That would just be so luscious. It's got a nice heft to it. It's like it got a little weight to it. So it's definitely going to keep you warm on those chilly nights. And even if it's, you can make this a winter wrap too. Like if you have a fireplace and you're sitting by the fireplace and you're cold, you want to wrap up. Or if you don't have a fireplace and you're just sitting in your recliner and you want to be warm. It is a beautiful, warm, squishy, luscious. Look at how it works up. And so you can still see the stitch definition, but there's like all this fuzziness to it that just makes it extra soft. So yeah, I had a lot of fun this week, you guys. Stay tuned for the very short instructional video on how to make corner to corner, and you can make your own wrap out of this. I do apologize if that video is not as thorough as some of the other tutorials this week, but I really ran out of time. I was on a deadline and I just wasn't able to do everything I needed to do. And I gave it my best effort, though I really did. And if you make this, I would love to see it in whatever color you chose. But this yarn is luscious, so check it out. Did I tell you it's $6.99 a ball? It's so worth it. It's so squishy and warm. And I really enjoyed Mary Maxim Week this week. And I just wanted to thank Mary Maxim for sending me a lot of these yarns like months and months ago. Like I really would not have thought to use a lot of these yarns. I wouldn't have purchased them for myself because I tend to buy the same yarns over and over again. I stick with the brands that I'm familiar with. I buy a lot of variegated yarns. I don't buy solid colors. I certainly don't buy heavy yarns for myself. But all of these yarns I've used this week, it is my first time using each and every one of those yarns. And I honestly would buy every one of them. I've bought some of them again. Like I bought more of the Prism for myself. I bought more of the Sunrise for myself. I probably, if I had more money, I would have bought all of these yarns again because I really enjoyed working with them. And I hope that you enjoy working with them as much as I did. And I hope that I have shined some light on some new yarns to you that maybe like you've never considered before. Much like I've never considered any of these yarns before. And it's really fun to play with new yarns and play with new designs with the new yarns. And this week has been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of work, but it's been a lot of fun. And I will see you guys on Monday, and we will talk about all of the things that's been going on in my life this week, last week, next week. And I just want to thank every one of you for being here and hanging with me through Mary Maxim Week because it's been a lot of fun. And I just appreciate you guys being here. And we'll see you Monday. Bye, guys. All right, so to get started, I have my 4 colors. You don't have to do this in 4 colors. Like if you wanted to do this all in one color, you could do this all in one color. This is just what I had, so we're working with what we have. This is the Mary Maxim Purely Soft. It's light and fluffy. These are the colors Sable, which is like a dark gray. We have Silver, Creamy, and Ocean, which I just looked this up on Mary Maxim's website, and the ocean looks more green on their website than it is here. It's very blue here. So now what we're doing is we are going to create a corner to corner wrap. It's going to be long, rectangular, and so I just wanted to give you, I made this swatch already because I was like, you know, trying to figure out some things, but I made this swatch. I wanted to make sure, first of all, that this is something that you guys will be able to see very easily where your stitches are, because this yarn has the furry nature to it, the feathery nature to it. I wanted to make sure that we could see. So we're using a little bit bigger hook than is recommended. This recommends a 6.5mm hook. I'm using a 7mm hook, but I know that not all crochet hooks make 7mm hook. Like 7mm is kind of like the unicorn sometimes. But if you have an 8mm hook, 8mm will work just as well. If you're good with using a 6.5mm hook, you can use that as well. I'm using a 7 because I just wanted the stitches to be a little bit spaced apart so we can kind of see them a little bit better, and I think that we should be able to see them a little bit better. The corner to corner is actually, you're creating blocks, but you're creating them going in different directions. So if you look at this, you will see that this block, which is my first block, the stitches are going this way. And then the next row, the stitches are going this way. So this is a row, and then this is a row, and this is a row. So it will be, the block will be this way, and then the next row, the blocks will be this way. And then the next row will be back to this way. So I want to keep that, I want to educate you on that first of all. So we have, and if you want to count rows, the best way, if you lose track on what row you're on, the easiest way to count rows is count your blocks on the edge. So this is row 4 because we have 4 blocks. If it was row 3, there would be 3 blocks. Row 2 has 2 blocks. Row 1 has 1 block. So every row, that's an easy, quick little, I'm giving you like a rundown of corner to corner in case you're new, you have not done corner to corner. I want you to understand the basics of corner to corner. Now I'm going to frog this because this was my swatch, and I'm going to teach you how to build this. This wrap, of course, is completely customizable. I have 4 balls of yarn, and I'm hoping that that will be sufficient to make the size wrap I want. We will know by the time I finish this tutorial, but you will already know how many balls it took. I do have some extra balls on standby that are a different brand that if I get in a pinch and we run out of yarn, I can like switch those in. But I'm just letting you know, real talk. I'm just working off the yarn that I had already. Okay, so we're going to make a slip knot. To make a slip knot, you make what looks like an awareness ribbon. You pinch the X. The short tail should be on the bottom. Go in from the top, grab, pull up a loop. You got a slip knot. Now we're going to chain 6, but when you chain the 3rd one, I'm going to show you a trick. This way it is easier to see your stitches and know where you're supposed to be going, because we're going to start the row with a chain of 6. 1, 2, 3. Pinch that last stitch you just made. 4, 5, 6. And the reason I pinch that is because that is where we need to go. That way we don't have to count back any stitches. We're going to pinch that 3rd one, and we're going to put a stitch in there. We're going to put double crochet. That counts as 2 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3 where we pinched, we're going to put a double crochet. And we're going to put a double crochet in the 2nd one. And then we're going to put a double crochet in the 1st one. And that is your first block. So the reason we do a chain 6 is because that counts as the first 3 chains plus a double crochet, because each block consists of 4 double crochets. Okay, that's why we pinch that 3rd one, so that we know that's where we need to put our stitch. Okay, now we're going to chain 6 again and do the same thing. Okay, 1, 2, 3, pinch the last one, 4, 5, 6, and then the one we're pinching, you're going to put a double crochet. And then there's 2 other stitches here between the double crochet you just made and the block you made in the previous row, because this is row 2 already. And in each one of those chains, you're going to put a double crochet. Okay, we're building up. This is going to be row 2, but that looks funky, right? So what we got to do is take that first block we made and we flip it on its side, and there's a double crochet here. We're going to stick our stitch, we're going to crochet around the post. So we're going to stick our hook around the post. Actually, I did that wrong. No, I didn't. We're slip stitching. We're going to slip stitch that together. So now we have, this is row 1, this is row 2. We're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to put 3 more double crochets in here. 2, 3. So we have 4 double crochets right there. Now this is going to look like a heart. Kind of. Looks like a heart, right? That is row 1. This is row 2. Let's do row 3. We're going to chain 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I forgot to tell you to pinch the 3rd. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3. Pinch the last chain you just made. 4, 5, 6. Put your double crochet in that chain. And put a double crochet in the next 2 chains. Right here. Excuse me. That one kind of hurt. Alright, so we got our chain block. Now because this is row 3, we're going to turn. And we're going to slip stitch into this part right here. So see how row 2 has 2 steps? We're going to take that step part, we're going to slip stitch to join. We're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then put 3 more double crochets around that post. 2, 3, and 4, And then we're going to go up to this next step, and there's a space there too, and you could pull these stitches apart. This is a double crochet or a chain 3 from the last row, so you just slip stitch to join that, chain 3, that counts as a double crochet, and then 3 more double crochet. We're just building like stairs, like steps. It's 3 and 4. Okay, so now we're on row 3 because we have 3 steps. And while you're increasing this, because you can make this as big as you want, up to baby blanket, up to a giant king size blanket if you want, you just keep adding the stairs, and on either end you keep doing the chain 6. 1, 2, 3, pinch, 4, 5, 6, and every row will look the same. You do the chain 6, you pinch it at the 3rd stitch, and you make sure that you have 4 double crochets for each block, and then we turn it, okay, turn it, and on this step, the first step of row 3, we're going to pull apart that post, slip stitch, chain 3, 3 more double crochets around that post, so that there's 4. Oops. Go up to the next step, find the post, slip stitch, chain 3, 3 more double crochets, go up to the next step, find that top post, slip stitch to join, chain 3, 3 more double crochet, alright, that was row 4. I'm going to show you row 5, and then I'm going to show you how to stop it from increasing, and then I'm going to talk to you about changing color if you want. So we're going to cover all that. So once again, chain 6, so 3, pinch, 4, 5, 6, and then make sure you put 3 double crochets in the next 3 chains. And 2, 1 more, 3, 4. And always remember, twist it here, okay? And then each one of these steps we'll put a block in there, which is slip stitch, chain 3, 3 double crochet all around that post. And I'm not sure how many rows I'm going to do, because I'm thinking I want this to be at least 12 inches wide. Like, not, I mean, it's obviously it's going to be longer than that. I want it to be at least 12 inches this way, maybe even more than that. And then it's going to probably be, I'm going to say probably 5 feet long. I want it long enough to wrap around my shoulders. And I also am going to, because we're using 4 different colors, I'm probably going to stripe in the colors. So just keep doing this until it is the width that you want it to be. So it's going to be a long rectangle, and it's going to go, you want it long enough or deep enough, not long enough, because long enough is to wrap around you. You want it deep enough that it is going to cover your shoulders the way you want them to. So 24 inches might even be better for you. I got, the other end is in here, and it tends to tingle when I get like that. Alright, so anyway, we're going to continue doing this, where you do chain 6 and then make the blocks, okay? Every row until it's wide enough. And then when you want to stop making it wider, you chain 1 and turn, and then in each one of these double crochets you put a single crochet just to get you back to the top of the block. Okay, so once you get this the width that you want, double or single crochet across the top of those, and this is where we normally would chain 6 here and make the block. We're just going to chain 1 and turn, and now we're working on the top of the block, so we just put a single crochet in each one of those stitches. So you should have 4 single crochets, so that's 2 and 3, and then because we're working around the post, I just put the 4th in the space by the post. Now chain 3 and around the post put 3 more double crochets, and then if you want, so that you know that this is the side that you're not increasing on anymore, I just had a stitch marker. What did I do with it? There it is. It was black and I couldn't see it. You put your stitch marker on this side so that you know that you're decreasing on this side. Or not decreasing, you're just not increasing anymore. So I put my stitch marker there, and now I know that this is the side that we're not going to add the 6 anymore. And this side we're still going to increase because now we're making it long this way instead of wider and longer. Okay, so then we're going to continue building blocks like we have every other row. We slip stitch, chain 3. Yeah, see, the other end is right here. I can't see it on the side. Alright, I got it. So we chain 3, and then we're still building our block with 3 more double crochets in the block. Oops. Slip stitch, chain 3, just like we did at all the other rows. And this might be at row 10, this might be at row 15, 20, 25, however wide you want this to be. We're going to stop increasing on that side. And I'll show you the next row as well so you don't get confused. Now, we're still going to increase on this side, so we're going to still treat this block as we did all the other blocks because this is not the side with the stitch marker. So you're still going to do the block here on the top step. Hang on, Bentley. And we're still going to do the chain 6 on this side. So 1, 2, 3, pinch, 4, 5, 6. We're still increasing on this side, just like we did the other rows. Turn our work. Working back up this side of the steps. And this will help it to continue to grow lengthwise, but it will not grow widthwise. The puppy wanted out. Mr. Cinnamon is cooking breakfast and he smells it and he's like, I need to go out there. So we're just still building our blocks. Chain 3, 3 double crochets after that, all around the post. I like corner to corner because especially when you're changing colors, it gives you a striped effect, but the stripes are on the diagonal. So That's what I really like about corner to corner for multi-changing colors. Alright, so we got here, and now we are level with the stitch marker row. So what we're going to do is we're just going to slip stitch over here, chain 1, turn. Good grief. And then on the top of these blocks, once again, we're going to do single crochets, just like we did on this side. Every time we hit this side where the stitch marker is, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to single crochet on the side of those blocks. Make sure there's 4 single crochet. I'm going to chain 3 and then continue building the 4 double crochet blocks. Chain 6, build the block, come back down, slip stitch, back and forth until it's the length that you want. And like I said, the wonderful thing about doing the multicolored with this is you will have diagonal stripes of color if you change color. You can also do this all in one color. I think I really like this sable color. I think that would be a beautiful wrap. We're going to continue this until we get about the length that we want it to do. And like when I get to that point, I will of course come back. And actually I'm going to show you how to change color. Okay, show you how to change color. So once you slip stitch on the end here, let's rebuild that. Okay, when you make the last block of the row and you slip stitch here, okay, this is where you're going to add your next color in. And you can cut this off, but because this is just me showing you how to do it, this is not the actual product just yet. This is just a sample I'm working up. When you go to switch in the next color, this yarn is so soft, by the way. You cut the gray. You can just attach the yarn this way. Just kind of pinch the tail on and leave kind of a longer tail. Pinch it against the fabric where you normally would hold it and just pull up a loop and then pull the gray color down. And then you can tie these two together and then you can weave them in later and then just proceed like you normally would. I'm going to actually crochet over the top of these to hold them down since we're doing this a little different today. You can also crochet over the top of the tails. I mean, I'm not going to judge you for that. Just single crochet across that row. Actually, I don't like the way that looks. Let's do that differently. Forget what I just said. Alright, we're still going to add the single crochet across the top of this row in the gray, because that makes more sense. I don't know what I was doing. Single crochet in the gray. This is when you're changing color. Put all your single crochets, because that's building up the side of that block. It doesn't make sense that I was trying to change color there. Alright, now we add in the blue, or whatever color you want. Add in the blue. That makes more sense. I don't know what I was doing. Then we'll chain 3 as per normal. And then create your blocks that way. And this yarn looks kind of funky, like it's trying to untwirl. Build our blocks to the next color. And then proceed to just build blocks of the next color. And you can weave your ends in, you can tie them down, you can do whatever you need to do to hold the stitches in place so it doesn't unravel. This yarn is so slippery, my hook keeps sliding out. I might have to switch to a grippier hook. And see how the blue will build up this way. And so you'll have a diagonal stripe going this way. So your wrap is going to be this way around your body. And your stripes will go off like on a diagonal. Alright, so just do that until pretty much you get to the size wrap that you want. You can make it as wide or as long as you want. I will... Actually, I can show you how to finish it off now. 1, 2, 3... So when you decide that the wrap is as long as you want it, then we're going to stop increasing on both sides. Okay, so just like we did on this side, we're going to do that on the other side as well. I'll show you how to do that. So we got all the way to the end. This is as big as we want it, right? So now, I'm going to build our last block up here. 1, 2, 3. Now, instead of chaining 6 like we normally would, because this is an increase side, we're just going to square it off now. We're going to do just like we did on this side. And we're going to chain 1, turn, and put 4 single crochets across this edge. And this is usually when people start to get confused and they start to slip up. Like, okay, well, how do I end this? This is how you end it. Now we're going to be working this way. Okay, so chain 3, just like we did on the other side when we stopped increasing on that side. You just build up the wall with the single crochets. And we build our block here. Chain 3, 3 double crochet, slip stitch just like we normally would. Slip stitch, chain 3, 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet, slip stitch, chain 1, and now these rows are going to actually, how many squares you have left is actually going to tell you how many rows you have left to do. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. That tells me there's only 4 rows left to this before it's finished. And obviously that number is going to change for you depending on how big you make this. We're just, because we're not increasing, we do the single crochets up the side, chain 3, 3 more double crochets on the top of the block, the top of the step. Slip stitch, chain 3, 3 double crochets, slip stitch, chain 3, slip stitch, turn our work. Now we only have 1, 2, 3 blocks. Actually, we only have 2 rows left. We're going to chain 1, single crochet across the top of that. I really hope you cannot hear my stomach growling. Cue the dog. Go on, Oreo. Go. She wanted to come say good morning. Got a little bit of a tangle. Alright, so we did our single crochets, chain 3. And then we just create the blocks here. 2, 3, 4. Oops. Slip stitch to join. Hi, Bentley. Get down. Puppy nose. Puppy nose. Alright, chain 3. Silly dog popped up here to give me a kiss. 3 more double crochet. And slip stitch to join on the edge. Chain 1 and turn. Now we only have 1 block left to build, so and this will be our last row. Single crochet up the side, just like we did all the other ones where we were not increasing. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 more double crochets. Slip stitch to join. And there's our pretend wrap that we're pretending is way longer than what it is. Where I attached the blue and the gray because I didn't properly weave it in, it had a little bump there. So that's what your wrap will look like. With obviously it's going to be a lot longer than this, and I will make the full thing, but I wanted to show you how we're constructing this. You can make it as wide as you want, as long as you want. Obviously, if you're going to change it too much, you're going to need either more or less yarn. You can make this into a scarf by using the exact thing I did here. You can make it into a baby blanket by just making the blocks a lot longer. This is the basic principles to building corner to corner. It's easy, it's beautiful. Once you understand the way that the blocks are set up and how they work and how to figure out where your rows are and all that, it's actually a really easy thing to make. So yeah, that's how we're going to build our wrap. And I'm going to figure out the colors and all that off camera. I just wanted to give you guys this quick little tutorial and instructions on how we're building it. I have not decided the size I'm going to make yet, but you will have already seen that because I will have finished it by the time I film the intro for this. And also, I'm just going to randomize the amount of rows for the stripes. And that's what I suggest you do too. If you're going to do different colors like I'm doing with the 4 colors, randomize how many rows you do for each color. Like do a big section on the corner of the starting color and then just do a couple of rows of stripes like at random thicknesses. It will give it a much more, it will actually look really nice. If you want, of course, you can, like I said, you can do this all in 1 color. You can also do this where you just do 1 ball of color and then do the next ball of color. And you could do it that way as well. But I think I'm going to stripe mine in because that's just what I wanted to do. But that's today's tutorial. We're building a wrap using this formula. I think for me, because if I measure this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm estimating that's about 5 inches because that's usually my gauge. Grabbing my tape measure. Yeah, each one of these squares is about 1 inch. So I got 5 squares across 5 inches. So if you want this to be 20 inches, make 20 squares across. It's a simple formula. Alright, so thank you so much for watching this, and I will see you in the next one.